Hey guys, what's up? It's Finch here. Today I'm bringing you guys my long-awaited series against Gary Oak for the NU Open. Just some backstory. I'm the NU tier leader, and I went positive in Smogon Snake Draft in the SM NU tier. In addition to that, I probably have like the second or third most wins in NUPL history, and I have a lot of other accolades in NU. But Gary Oak is probably one of the few people who's more accomplished than I am over the last couple of years in the NU. He's dominated tours left and right throughout the circuit, including NUPL. He's got like a ridiculous undefeated streak in there. Last year, he beat me in Open and made a pretty damn deep run himself. I was able to take the game off him in Smogon Strike Draft, but he had a really great turnaround after a really slow start of the season. So he's probably one of the top 2 or 3 NU players, whereas I'm never really got a big start in the tournaments in NU this generation. I've been playing a lot more OU, so I've been around, but it's all right. I'm definitely kind of looking forward to this series. It's kind of a highlight match. It's unfortunate because 2 of like the favorites in Open got each other round 1. But yeah, really hyped up for this series. Game 1, I'm bringing a team with Magneton, which I guess is worth noting is now, I believe, RU by usage. This is done with it before the shifts this week. So yeah, it was played on July 1st. Anyway, so I get the team with Analytic, Teleport, Magneton. It's got a Thunderbolt, Full Switch, Flash Cannon, Teleport. We got Choice Scarf, Toxic, Adamant Sock. We got a Spikes, Toxic, Gunk Shot, Stomping Tantrum, Golurk. Garbodor. We got a Stealth Rock, Stunfisk because it's pretty good in a metagame with Magneton and also dueling beat Scyther. We got, I believe, Silvally. I want to say Dark on this team, and we also have a Choice Band, Poltergeist, Gourgeist. So let's get into the game now. Looking at his team, I think he's got Lipard and Scyther, but I think it's probably got to be Scarf on the either the Scyther, which I don't really expect, or Sucker Punch on the Lipard because it's got to be Rock's Golurk. I'm thinking it's also going to be Sleep Powder defensive, Tangela, and probably some sort of defog variant of Silvally. Tips me off to being Silvally Steel in all likelihood, and a pivot Wishiwashi. So it's just a lot of momentum and getting rocks up and doing damage with Scyther and the Golurk. So let's get into the game now. I think right off the bat, the biggest threat to my team is most definitely the Golurk. It's very hard to switch into, so really great pick by Gary, but I know I have my own threats as well, so let's see what I can do. Turn 1, he leads with the Golurk, as I lead with Silvally Dark. It's a good lead for me. Predicting a switch, I guess, to Wishiwashi. I go for the multi attack. I guess I was kind of predicting the stand. Honestly, what am I saying? He goes Protect here, as I go for the multi attack. In hindsight, Swords Dance would have been really cool, but obviously, I don't want to risk taking a Toxic or a Scald Burn, so just getting damage off to it's great. Parting Shot there, as I go Magneton. It's a U-turn. That's fine. He then proceeds to go Golurk, which is interesting. I predict the just attack or stealth rock, and I go my Silvally Dark. He does 45%, so that means he's probably like max attack, but not like life orb or choice band, obviously. And now I parting shot into Tangela and get my Garbodor, which is great. He goes to Golurk here, as that lets me get a turn of spikes up, which is amazing. I go Silvally Dark again. He goes for Earthquake. I'm like, wait a minute, is this Scarf of Golurk? So I go to Gourgeist Dunk. Okay, he's either going to be scared and go out to Tangela, which I could spam Poltergeist or Shrug into, or bluff Life Orb Fire Blast against, or he's going to be Scarf. So I make the perfect mid-round and go Gourgeist, but it still takes a lot of damage from Earthquake. It takes 30%, which is not good. It's now a 3 KO. So yeah, he goes Tangela on the Choice Banded Poltergeist. It does 33%, which is great, but I'm scared out by knockoff. I go Garbodor on that, which is great, and he now takes damage. He's under half health with his Tangela here, and he brings in the Silvally Steel, which is fine by me, as I go for the Toxic, predicting the Golurk. Great play by Gary. He goes for the Defog now, and I Stomping Tantrum. I bring it down to 30% health, which is good, so I can now get Spikes up and pressure that. With Rocks and Spikes, it's a 2 KO on switch in. But he gets the Golurk back in. I really don't have repeated switch-ins to it, so I let my Gourgeist come in here. He goes Rocks, though, which is helpful for me, as now I can go for the Poltergeist, but he predicts that and goes to Lipard. And now I'm going to predict him to go for U-turn, knowing that I've got the Garbodor, the Silvally Dark can be foddered off, and the Sock, so I'd rather see him lock into U-turn if he's choice banded. And I would predict him staying. It was a really great play by him to just knock off attack bars in front because he was already winning the game with Golurk. So, yeah, great play there by Gary. I can now get my Scarf Sock in at least, and he goes Tangela here, which is really annoying because it's able to eat the knockoff easily and now get something, put it something to sleep potentially as I go Garbodor. And to make matters worse, he does hit Sleep Powder, so yeah, I feel like I'm pretty far behind now. Gary's playing amazing. I doubled the Sock here, but he predicts that in Leaf Stars, which leaves me really low. And while Close Combat does kill him here, he's going to switch out to Lipard as fodder as I go for the Close Combat, which invites the Sock in. And I only live 3 more Rock switch-ins, so where Sock gets a kill every time, I can't even get a kill every time. And Scyther is a major problem now as I go Magneton on a U-turn, which pretty much lets the Golurk come in and just sweep me with Earthquake because, again, Sock can only come in, so he's going to win the trade Pokemon battle. I doubled the Magneton here, like hoping that I could get a kill at least, but he fires off Silvally Steel. And then goes to Wishy-Washy, not wanting to risk Scarf, I guess. I don't know, but either way, I can't win at this point. So yeah, he's just gonna run away with the game. He could fight everything off, but he's got a Pokemon advantage eventually because Earthquake's just so good. He fought off Wishy-Washy here, yeah, and that's gonna be that. Earthquake cleans me out. So it's a really nice Golurk pick from Garay there. He's gonna emerge victorious in the first game. Second game, I'm using a cool team brought to me by my friend Roses. It's an Electric Drain team with Pincurchin, which unfortunately now also rose all the way up to RU, I believe. It was actually PU before this, and also Raichu to abuse that. We also have a Thievul with Electric Seed and Nasty Plot, which is great. Cofagrigus, Eldegoss, and Piloswine. He's using a bit more of a balanced team. It has a Persian Alola, Mawile, Eldegoss defensive core with Lantern as well, and then Scyther and Savali for speed and potential offensive damage, I suppose. It's a really cool team by Gary. Looking at the matchup, if I could break through the Lantern, it's going to look amazing, but I might have to do a Focus Blast or get Spikes up to do that, so definitely going to be careful. But Piloswine looks amazing against this team. The matchup looks really good overall. He leads with the Persian. I'm fine just staying in and going for Rocks, I believe, because I can still tank it from this, or tank it from Scyther that's not Choice Banded, or tank it from Mawile if need be. He goes Foul Plays, I go Eldegoss now, and now I can just Pollen Puff predicting his Eldegoss to try and get the spin off, which is great because I get a lot of damage off with it. He's going to do a nice 22%, and now I can go out to Cofagrigus on the predicted Rapid Spin, but he doubles to the Silvally Poison, not want to take more damage, I guess, which is fair. He does Defog now as I go for the Shadow Ball, revealing that I'm very offensive, doing 44%. And now he goes Lantern here. I Body Press predicting a switch, but it only does 26% because I'm not max defense, which kind of sucks, honestly. He goes Eldegoss. I go Eldegoss here on the Volt Switch, which is going to invite into Scyther, which is a little bit annoying to this team with the knockoff on Piloswine, but it's fine, so I could go to my Mummy Cofagrigus, which is still quite defensive. And yeah, the first one does 16, the second one does 11 because of Mummy, and now I can threaten more damage, but he goes Eldegoss, which just shrugs this off. It only does 29%, which prompts me to go my Eldegoss because this is how Eldegoss games go. He goes Sleep Powder, and now he goes Silvally Poison, predicting the Pollen Puff, which I go for. Great play by the opponent, but now I predict him not to go for it. Max Attack Judgment, he goes Flamethrower, and I sleep this, so ultimately it was a net positive circumstance for me. And now he goes to Eldegoss as I get my Pincurchin, which is great. And he goes for Pollen Puff, predicting my switch. I predict that, or him to double out something like Scyther, and I get Spikes up. And now I switch here on the Rapid Spin so I don't take the Pollen Puff, which is just great. Because now I can potentially make damage, make progress. But he goes Scyther, and I predict that and double the Piloswine. So I'm making great plays here. He goes Dual Wing Beat as I go for the Stealth Rock, I believe, trying to threaten him. In hindsight, Icicle Crash would have been better. Actually, no, I'm Superpower over Icicle Crash. I changed that. And Ice Shard does 31, revealing he's Eviolite, not Heavy Duty Boots, which means Rocks to stay would be amazing. I go Raichu here, and I predict him to predict me to predict Lantern. Basically, he thought that I predict Lantern and switch out or go for another move, so stand with his Scyther, but I predict him to predict that, which is like some 3D chess guru bullshit, and I kill it with the Rising Voltage, which would have done nothing to the Lantern. In fact, it would have healed it up. So it's a good play by me there. And now he goes to the Eldegoss, which is like, okay, that's fine. I think I go for the Rising Voltage, just trying to damage it more, because now the Rocks being up isn't a big deal. And that does 34% to it, which is cool. Now I go Eldegoss here, predicting the Lantern, and I get that right, which is cool. He goes Protect, which is a smart play because he's getting leftovers. Now he's all the way up to 90%, which is unfortunate for me. But he now goes Eldegoss here as I go Pollen Puff predicting that. So I'm making progress, which is great. Now he goes Mawile here on the Pollen Puff, yeah. And I just want to Leaf Storm it to chip it because it'd be nice to have this in range of something like Raichu and Pincurchin. But unfortunately for me, he Toxics here, which is going to put me on a timer. So while I'm in the lead here, I still don't have my Rocker, and I'm Toxic, though I got to be careful. I go Pincurchin now, and he goes Stealth Rock. That's fine with me. I think I go Spikes here. Yeah, I go Spikes, baiting into Eldegoss. Eldegoss is actually kind of annoying in hindsight. And he crits the Leaf Storm now, which is super bad for me because I go Rising Voltage to chip it. I could have lived that with ease and potentially healed up on something later on as well. Or at least gotten Electric Drain up more times. So now I'm like super rushed because I want to get the Raichu in ASAP. I predict the Persian there as he goes Rapid Spin. I go Body Press, but he Foul Plays it, does 21%. And it gives him Mummy, so I just take him out right there, which is really good for me. So again, despite losing the Pincurchin for nothing, I think I'm in a pretty decent spot. He goes Eldegoss, and I predict the Leaf Storm, and he goes Rapid Spin into the Cofagrigus. This is a great play by him. Guy making plays. And I feel like I'm in a bit of a not great position, but I can get the spin off here, and then I can get the Raichu, and on this he goes Rocks in all likelihood. So that's helpful. And I go Pincurchin actually just one last time to get train up, which is unfortunate that it's so low because it's a defensive Mawile, so I might have actually been a little bit hit without the crit. But either way, I go Raichu here. I know it would kill this, so I go for a nasty plot here, predicting him to go Lantern, and I know I can live potentially at least one Scald. And I get the Focus Blast and 2 EQ plus 2, but no, I miss it, and he crits Scald, so now I can't even get 2 hits off without the second life orb, which really sucks. It would have been a roll. I go Nasty Plot here, predicting him to switch, or I go for Protect, but yeah, no, it's the game over there. I just can't win because, see, I needed the damage on this to win with Stevo, potentially. Even then, it would have been harder, but Cofragus into Stevo would look really good, especially if he didn't crit the Pinkerch, because it wouldn't have put me on like such a quick timer, but yeah. Ultimately, while I can take out the Eldegoss, if he stays in, he doesn't. He lets go to Savali, and I can't really sleep anything with his Eldegoss being there, so it's pretty much over from this point. I'm going to follow to the Garay. Barring a flinch here, I don't get it. So yeah, he got pretty lucky in this game. Honestly, I think I was favored in this game, but Garay played a great game regardless of great series. My matchup was favorable here. It was more the matchup that favored me than the plays, so I definitely lost to the better player in any of the series, so congratulations to Garay on advancing, and I'm definitely going to try my hardest to win other opens, which I'll try and bring occasional content from, but it's hard because I'm not using my teams in every tier, so sometimes I got to just say, oh, I'm not going to bother with this. So yeah, anyway, that's going to be that. He's going to ultimately prevail here as he's used his rest, and that's going to be that. So good game. Well played, Garay. Peace out, guys. Hope you enjoyed.